Most women don't suddenly get weak after 60. They slowly lose strength without noticing. It starts small. Getting out of bed feels tighter. Groceries feel heavier. Reaching behind your back becomes awkward. Then one day, you hesitate, just for a second, on stairs, on uneven ground. And that hesitation, it matters more than you think, because that's how independence starts to slip. But here's the truth. You don't need 20 exercises. You don't need a gym. Just 3 simple movements a day can rebuild your strength, improve your balance, and help you stay pain-free. These are early warning signals, signals that certain deep protective muscles are beginning to weaken. And when those muscles weaken, balance follows, confidence follows. I spent over 30 years as an orthopedic surgeon treating women over 60, and I can tell you this with certainty. Loss of independence rarely begins with a fall. It begins years earlier. With muscle loss, no one ever explained to you. Here's the part most people get wrong. You were probably told to walk more, and walking is good for your heart, your mood, your circulation. But walking alone does not protect your bones, it does not stop muscle loss, and it does not train your body to catch itself. When you stumble, that is not opinion, that is physiology. After age 60, women lose muscle mass at a faster rate than men. The medical term is sarcopenia. Research from the European Working Group on Sarcopenia in older people, updated in 2019, showed that adults over 60 can lose up to 1 to 2% of muscle mass per year, and strength goes faster than size. At the same time, bone density declines. A 2020 study from the National Osteoporosis Foundation reported that 1 in 2 women over 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis in her lifetime. That sounds alarming. Stay with me, because here is what matters. This decline is not inevitable, and it is not too late. What is missing from most advice is this. It focuses on activity, on movement without resistance. Movement without resistance keeps you busy. Targeted resistance tells your bones and muscles to stay alive. Your body is listening, even now. When muscle pulls on bone, bone responds by getting stronger. That is basic biology, and it works well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The problem is not age. The problem is that no one showed you which muscles matter most, or how little time it actually takes. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 specific strength exercises every woman over 60 should be doing. No gym, no expensive equipment, low risk, high return. Each one protects a different system: your bones, your balance, and your ability to move and stay steady. And I want you to know this up front. The most important insight, the one that makes everything else work better, comes at the end. You will find all study links in the description. Before we begin, share with us in the comments your age and where you are watching from. We read and reply to every single comment. Now, without further delay, let us start with number 1. Exercise number 1. Sit to stand. Let me say this carefully. This is one of the most underestimated strength movements for women over 60. Not because it is ineffective, but because it looks simple. In my clinic, I often heard, "Doctor, that seems too basic to matter." And yet, when this movement is missing, I see the consequences every single day. The exercise is the sit to stand, sometimes called a chair squat. Most people think of it as just getting up. But from an orthopedic perspective, it is one of the most important lower body strength tests we have. The main muscles involved are the quadriceps, the gluteus maximus, and the hip stabilizers. Supporting those are the hamstrings, the core, and even the ankle stabilizers. These muscles control nearly every essential daily task: standing up from a chair, getting off the toilet, rising from a car seat, steadying yourself when you lean forward to pick something up. When these muscles weaken with age, something subtle happens. You begin using momentum instead of strength. You push with your hands, you rock forward, you hesitate before standing. That hesitation is not weakness, it is your nervous system sensing instability, and instability is where falls begin. A 2014 study from King's College London followed women aged 65 to 80 who did structured sit-to-stand training. After 12 weeks, they showed a 34% improvement in lower body strength and a significant drop in fall risk markers. Not gym training, not machines, just this movement done correctly. Here's how to do it safely. Stand with a sturdy chair behind you, feet about hip width apart, toes facing forward, weight spread evenly across both feet. Before you move, gently brace your stomach as if you're about to cough. Nothing forceful, just a light tightening. Now, slowly sit back as if reaching for the chair. Hips move first, knees bend naturally, chest stays tall. Lower yourself over 3 seconds, controlled. Touch the chair lightly, do not sink into it. Then press through your heels and rise over 2 seconds. No locking the knees at the top, just tall, steady standing. Start with 8 repetitions, rest. Then do 1 more set, that is enough. 3 to 4 days per week. If balance is a concern, place the chair near a wall or counter. Let your hands hover nearby, not pulling, just reassuring your nervous system. To progress, first increase to 10, then 12 repetitions. Later, slow the lowering phase to 4 seconds. That extra time under tension strengthens both muscle and bone. Why do orthopedic surgeons recommend this? Because it loads the hips and femur, the areas most at risk for fracture. Because it trains the exact movement needed to recover from a stumble, and because it protects dignity. Being able to stand up without help is one of the strongest predictors of long-term independence. I have watched patients rebuild confidence simply by mastering this again. Not confidence from encouragement, confidence from capability. One important check before we move on. If you are watching this and realizing you use your hands every time you stand, that is not a failure. That is information, and information is where improvement begins. If this has been helpful so far, take a moment to like the video so more women can find it, and consider subscribing. We share clear, science-based guidance like this every day, quietly, carefully, and with your independence in mind. Exercise number 2, side leg raise. This one is quietly powerful, and it is often skipped. Not because it does not work, but because most people do not understand what it is protecting. This exercise targets balance from the side. Most falls do not happen straight forward or straight backward. They happen sideways, when the body shifts unexpectedly to the left or right. The movement is the side leg raise, performed standing. It strengthens the gluteus medius and gluteus minimus, muscles most people have never heard of, but every orthopedic surgeon pays close attention to them. These muscles stabilize the pelvis during walking. They keep your hips level when you step onto one leg. They protect the spine from tilting sideways. Every time you take a step, one leg is holding your entire body weight. If these muscles are weak, the pelvis drops slightly with each step. That drop may feel small, but over time, it changes how your joints load. It contributes to knee pain, hip strain, lower back fatigue, and it reduces your ability to catch yourself when balance is challenged. A 2016 study from the University of Sydney looked at lateral hip strength in women over 65. After 10 weeks, participants showed a 41% improvement in lateral stability and significantly better single-leg balance time. That translates directly to fewer falls. Here's how to do it correctly. Stand beside a sturdy chair or countertop. One hand rests lightly on it, not for support, just for reassurance. Stand tall, no leaning. Slowly lift the opposite leg out to the side, only about 12 to 18 inches. Higher is not better. Keep your toes facing forward. That part is critical. Lift over 2 seconds, pause briefly, then lower slowly. Over 3 seconds. The movement is small, the work is deep. You will feel it on the outer side of the hip, not the thigh. Start with 8 repetitions on one side, then switch. 1 to 2 sets is enough at first, 3 days per week. If balance feels uncertain, reduce the range. If fatigue comes quickly, that is expected. These muscles are often the most undertrained. To progress, gradually increase to 10 or 12 repetitions. Later, slow the lowering phase further. Eventually, when you feel ready, try lifting without holding on. Why do surgeons value this movement? Because it builds pelvic control, which is the foundation of safe walking. Because it reduces uneven loading through the hips and knees. And because it improves your ability to recover when you are bumped, jostled, or step on uneven ground. Here is something I have seen many times. Many women stop trusting their balance before it is truly gone. They avoid uneven surfaces, they shorten their stride, they hold their breath, stepping sideways. This exercise restores that trust, not through encouragement, through capability. You feel steadier because you are steadier. Exercise number 3, single leg standing. Now we arrive at the final exercise, and I want you to listen carefully here, because this is the one that brings everything together. Bones, muscles, and the nervous system. This is the most important one of all. Most people avoid this exercise, not because it is dangerous, but because it reveals weakness, honestly. The exercise is single leg standing, done in a very specific and controlled way. From a medical standpoint, this is not just a balance drill. It is a neuromuscular integration exercise. It trains how your brain, muscles, joints, and inner ear communicate with each other in real time. The muscles involved include the ankle stabilizers, the quadriceps, the glutes, and the deep core. But more importantly, it activates the proprioceptive system, your body's internal positioning sense, the system that tells you where you are in space, without needing to look. As we age, proprioception declines, not suddenly, gradually. Research from the University of Pittsburgh in 2019 found that adults over 65 with reduced single-leg balance time had a 2-fold increase in fall risk within the following year. This is not about athletic balance, it is about reaction time. When you trip, you do not think, you react. And those reactions are either trained or they fade. Here is how to do this safely. Stand near a sturdy surface, a counter or a heavy chair, one hand hovering close, not gripping. Shift your weight onto one foot. Feel the full contact of your sole on the floor. Now, slowly lift the opposite foot just a few inches off the ground. No need to lift high. Eyes stay forward. Breathing stays calm. Hold for 10 seconds, then gently place the foot down. Switch sides. Start with 3 repetitions per side. If 10 seconds feels difficult, begin with 5. That is completely fine. That is the right place to start. As it gets easier, increase to 15 seconds, then 20. Later, and only when balance feels secure. You can try closing your eyes briefly. That small change challenges the system in a deeper way. Why do orthopedic surgeons value this so highly? Because single-leg balance time predicts fall risk better than many imaging tests, because it rebuilds confidence from the inside out, and because it teaches the body to correct itself the moment something unexpected happens. Here is the quiet truth. Falls are rarely caused by weakness alone. They are caused by delayed response. This exercise sharpens that response. The first exercise strengthened the muscles that help you rise from a seat, protecting your independence. The second stabilized your pelvis and spine, protecting your balance during everyday walking. The third retrained your nervous system. So corrections happen automatically before you even think. Together, these 3 movements support mobility, confidence, and fall prevention. without a gym, without equipment, without risk. Just a few minutes, a few days each week. Gradual progress, that is enough. At this stage of life, it is not about adding years. It is about adding movement to every year you have. Targeted resistance is what matters, not intensity, not exhaustion, consistency. Before we close, I would love to hear from you. Which of these 3 exercises feels most important for you to start with? Let us know in the comments. We read everyone. And if you would like more calm, science-based guidance focused on keeping you independent and living fully, consider subscribing. No pressure, just support. Your body is still capable of adapting. It just needs the right exercises.